Well, at least the Chiefs aren't 6-7 anymore. Welcome back to another episode. And we're just going to jump right into it because I've been really excited to get back to everything this week. So, let's get into it. So, first, normally I start with the Thursday game and then I go down the list. But today we're going to do something a little different because I have a little bit of a rant. So, Chiefs Chargers, Kansas City at home lose to the Los Angeles Chargers 16-13 whilst being eliminated of the playoffs, and at the exact same time, Patrick Mahomes goes down with an ACL tear. Pretty catastrophic day and a catastrophic season for Kansas City Chiefs and their fan base. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things that happened during this game. The Chiefs' offense had multiple times to where they could have just scored. And then right there at the end, they even had a chance to win if they would have just, kneel the ball or ran the ball one more time, let the clock run out, and then kicked a field goal to go into overtime. You could have won that game, but at the same time, with Mahomes tearing his ACL, you really didn't know. So I understand why they didn't do it. But it really confuses me. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco barely led the room in rushing. It really didn't feel like he led the room in rushing. It felt like Patrick Mahomes did. He was for the majority of this game. Like I said, you do not want your quarterback leading your team in rushing unless you're the Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills or the Lamar Jackson-led Baltimore Ravens. Travis Kelce, great day. Great day out of Travis, 7 for 70. He was targeted 9 times. That's okay. Rashee Rice, not such a great day. He is in concussion protocol now, and so is Tyquan Thornton, who was having himself a pretty decent day, even though there was one missed pass interference call. The Chargers, dude. I mean, the Chargers, they came out and played pretty efficient football. That defense is good. That offense was struggling a little bit in this game. Like their tight end that came out of nowhere, Andre Gadsden, is just doing amazing. He's doing amazing things. I mean, really, this team was just better than the Chiefs, and it came down to the fact that the Chiefs couldn't execute. I mean, we just couldn't. Kansas City, we need to go through a whole new just revamp at just everything. I think we keep Spags. I think we keep Andy Reid. I think we keep Brett Veach because Brett Veach has been pretty decent. Even though I think Brett Veach, being safe, in my opinion, needs to be on the hot seat. Everybody else needs to go. Pretty much everybody. We can keep our DB coach. He's really good. Like, keep the important pieces. Matt Nagy, I would have fired him that night. I'm done with Matt Nagy. I was done with Matt Nagy a year ago. I was ready to get rid of him a long time ago. With that being said, I think it's important that we look to see what we can get in the future with these draft picks. Jeremiah Love has officially said he's going to the NFL draft, so that's good for us. Hopefully we can get Jeremiah Love in the first round. I'm going to keep on pushing for that to happen because I'd really love for that to happen. But yeah, nothing else really to say other than I just wanted to get this off my chest, be the first thing that happens, that I talk about because, I mean, Matt Araiza was fantastic. Matt Araiza has been one of the only bright spots on this team all season, other than Patrick Mahomes himself, and now he's out until next year. It looked like I heard some reports that all of the damage done inside of his left leg was easily fixable and repairable. I say easily with quotation marks because it's easy for their line of work. It's probably not very easy in general. They went down to Dallas to get that repaired, and he's already in rehab. So that is good. That is a good thing. Their timeline is expected 9 months, but they said that he can be 1 to 2 months faster than that or 1 to 2 months slower than that. Hopefully it's in the 1 to 2 months faster than that range so that way he can still get some of the end of training camp, some of the preseason in before starting that year of next season. That would be ideal. That would be what we want. As far as here in the future, Gardner Minshew, you're going to have a lot on your plate these next couple of weeks. My personal opinion is that we go out and get Jameis Winston just because I love Jameis Winston. I mean, I don't know how we can line him up at receiver. Los Angeles Chargers, you're going to make the playoffs. You're going to be a fantastic team in the playoffs. You're probably not going very far other than maybe the divisional. Next, we're going to have Falcons Bucks. Holy cow. Kirk Cousins, what a game. Applaud you, my man. 30 of 44, 380 and 3. Fantastic game. Bijan Robinson, look at that. 19 carries, 93 yards, and a touchdown. He went just nuts. He also had 82 yards receiving. But Kyle Pitts, man, if you were a fantasy owner and you were playing this guy in the fantasy playoffs right now, I kind of feel bad for you. Kyle Pitts, 11 receptions, 170, and 3 receiving touchdowns. All those passing touchdowns. What's Kyle Pitts? He put on a clinic. He looked like a big receiver out there. I mean, Kyle Pitts was amazing. Dominated this Bucs defense. The Buccaneers had time after time after time to win this game, and they choked. I mean, Mike Evans, six catches, 130 yards. Was a pretty good day for Mike Evans. Emeka Egbuka, pretty decent day. Jakes McMillan, all right. Chris Godwin catching a touchdown. Bucky Irving should have more carries than this, especially late in that game. They went on the 3 and out where they just threw 3 times, and then Baker threw a pick, I think is what it was. You should have ran the dang ball. You were winning. You were winning in the fourth quarter. I expect Todd Bowles to be fired. He kind of cussed out his players in the press conference. I don't think that is professional nor needed. Next, we're going to go to Ravens-Bengals, and the Ravens absolutely dominated the Bengals. I picked the Bengals this week, and they just lost pretty bad. Joe Burrow seems to have lost a bit of a step. Last week, he didn't play so well either. I mean, he was playing better than this week. He was playing better against the Buffalo Bills defense than the Baltimore Ravens. Granted, the Baltimore Ravens probably know Joe Burrow a lot better than the Bills do. So I'm going to give him that. Lamar Jackson, a lot better. Still didn't really do much. He really didn't do much. He played the game to win. That's pretty much all I have on this game. It's just like they played to win. They won. Zay Flowers looking good. That defense on Baltimore looking pretty solid. If Baltimore gets into the playoffs, they might win the wild card matchup. I'm just going to say that right now. That's kind of a rough road for them to get in the playoffs. They got to have some help. But it's not impossible. What is impossible is the Chiefs getting in the playoffs. Next, you got Commanders, New York Giants. The Commanders beat the Giants. I think I picked the Giants to win this game. But honestly, Jackson Dart played pretty well. I mean, 250 and 2 with an interception. Not bad. I don't know. I mean, he went 20 of 36. His QBR is a 36. I don't know why it's so low. I mean, he played really well. He had 63 yards on the ground. Tyron Tracy. I mean, this Giants offense was looking pretty good. The Giants defense is terrible. Marcus Mariota didn't even have that great of a game. I mean, he did fairly well for it being against the Giants defense. This defense needs an overhaul. Jackson Dart did fumble. So I mean, this game was just goodness. The Commanders end up pulling out a dub. Let's go on to the Eagles, and yeah, they shut out the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders, they suck. The Raiders, you guys suck. 6 receptions for 28 yards out of Brock Bowers, and then 9 carries for 35 yards. That's out of your 2 playmakers. You didn't even get 100 yards from scrimmage combined from both your playmakers. You barely got over 100 yards from scrimmage on offense as a team. You guys suck. The Eagles barely edged out a win. They're 9-5, and I don't even think they're that good. I mean, they didn't play that bad of a game. They didn't play that great of a game. Their defense had a heyday. I mean, Kenny Pickett was sacked 4 times. 4 times out of 35 dropbacks. That's nuts. I mean, it's just Eagles Fly, Eagles, fly. Raiders suck. Okay, next we got the Lions and Rams. This game was crazy. And what did I say? Mark my words. I said if the Lions get Jahmyr Gibbs a touchdown, they will win this game. If Jahmyr Gibbs does not have a touchdown, they will not win this game. What happened? Jahmyr Gibbs, 0 rushing touchdowns, 0 receiving touchdowns. In fact, he had 20 through the air, and he had 38 on the ground. The Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, thoroughly shut down Jahmyr Gibbs, and that is how you stop this Lions offense. That's how you stop them. You shut down Jahmyr Gibbs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 13 catches, 170 and 2. I mean, he had a great game receiving the football. Same with Jameson Williams. It doesn't matter. If the Lions don't get their rushing attack going, because that's what they go to early in the game. They go to the rushing attack. If you do not get the rushing attack going as the Lions head office, the front office, or the coaching staff, you are not going to win the game. Because, yes, you can pass the ball, but that means you are behind. That means you're behind. Los Angeles Rams, fantastic day. Now, you know what the Rams can do? They can run the football, but they can also score when passing the football. Matthew Stafford, excellent day. 2 passing touchdowns. None of them the Puka Nacua, but Nacua, dude, 9 catches, 181. Impressive stat line. Colby Parkinson, kind of an underdog on this roster, caught both touchdowns in this game. Fantastic. Yeah, really, the Rams are the best team in the NFL. Yeah, no, the Broncos are not the best team in the NFL. Don't even start with me on that one. But the Rams are better than the Detroit Lions, as shown here, especially when they can stop that rushing attack. It seems like it's a common theme, or at least it was last year. If you stop the Eagles' rushing attack, they are not going to win. If you stop, well, unless you're in a Super Bowl and that defense dominates, right? If defense isn't a factor, if we're just talking about offense, because the Lions' defense is barbecue chicken. I mean, it's not good either. And that's why the Rams were able to have such an amazing day. The Rams' defense is good, and the Lions putting up 34 points shows how good of an offense they are. But when you don't get Jahmyr Gibbs running, I can't stress enough. You don't get Jahmyr Gibbs going, you're not going to win the game. Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Cowboys. J.J. McCarthy putting himself together. Round of applause. Couple good performances. Last week I said he played really well. This week, 250 and 2-1. Pretty dang good day. He also had a rushing touchdown where he gritted his way into the end zone, even though coaches told him not to do it. I freaking love it. Dallas Cowboys, you are not out of the playoffs yet, I don't believe, but I do think you're on life support. You can't have Dak Prescott not throwing a touchdown. That can't happen. You had 2 rushing touchdowns, and I believe you had a defensive touchdown somewhere. Something like that. Or actually, you just had a butt ton of field goals, I think is what it was, right? I didn't actually watch this game, so I'm trying to see. Yeah, Dallas kicking. He went 4 for 6 on field goals. That's terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so after the first 2 touchdowns of the game in the first and second quarter, he kicked 4 field goals. So, yeah, Dallas, your season's on life support. Thankfully, you're not that far behind the Eagles, but you've got to win these last 3 weeks if you want to make the playoffs. So, we'll see what happens. Minnesota, congratulations. I mean, your season's over, but J.J. McCarthy looking really good. I'm just saying, J.J. McCarthy's going to be pretty good when it comes to next season. Cleveland Browns, Chicago Bears, Shedeur Sanders, 8.2 QBR, sacked 5 times. Yeah, it was pretty bad. He could have thrown an incompletion every single time, all 35 times. Or he could have just taken a knee every single time. I'm dead serious on every snap, and he would have had a higher QBR, which is kind of crazy. 177 and 3 interceptions. Not terrible, but bad. But not terrible. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is working with literally nothing on offense. The Cleveland Browns, man, I don't know. Isaiah Bond, I mean, he led the room in receiving, so that's pretty cool. He was an undrafted free agent. The Bears looking pretty good. Chicago is looking good behind Caleb Williams. Nothing else really to say about this game, really. I mean, the Bears and Ben Johnson, you're looking good. Should they be a 10-win team? Who knows? They should probably be like an 8-win team with how they've played this year, but they do have 10 wins. So, you know who else has 10 wins now? The Buffalo Bills. They're 10-4. They came back in this game. The Patriots couldn't get anything going through the air this entire game. Literally the entire game. Drake May only had 155 passing yards. He threw an interception. But the thing is, TreVeyon Henderson is finally getting the carries he deserves. I did not know why they were starting both Ramondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson and like splitting the carries and everything. Now TreVeyon Henderson is getting double the amount of carries that Ramondre Stevenson is getting. And look, 14 carries, 150, 2 rushing touchdowns. This guy's great. Drake May also had 2 rushing touchdowns. I mean, this New England's offense has what it takes to be great, especially on the ground. They've proven that. But through the air, I mean, Stephon Diggs only had 3 catches, and he only had 26 yards. Ramondre Stevenson had 3 catches out of the backfield. Like, come on, guys. Mac Hollins, barefoot legend himself, 41 yards. You've got to be able to pass, especially when you have Drake May, especially when you're going against this Buffalo Bills defense. Now, Josh Allen, decent day. 193, 3 touchdowns. But you know who else had a good day? James Cook. He had 2 rushing touchdowns on 22 carries and 107 yards. And he also had a receiving touchdown. I mean, James Cook is phenomenal. I fully believe he's at least a top 7 back in the NFL right this second. He's been too good this year to say otherwise. Really good game. Really good game on both sides. Buffalo ends up coming back and getting the win in this one. Jacksonville over the New York Jets. The Jets suck. Jacksonville, oh boy, this team, I mean, Trevor Lawrence threw for 5 touchdowns and 330 yards, but that defense is abysmal on the Jets. And yeah, Brady Cook played. He didn't play terrible. That Jacksonville defense is a lot better than it was a couple of years ago. And yeah, Brady Cook on the Jets. He's cooking with not jet fuel. Adonai Mitchell and Isaiah Williams. Never heard of that guy. John Mechie. I mean, he's working with, I'll use this term again, barbecue chicken. He's working with barbecue chicken. And not tasty barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken that you've grilled and then left in the oven on accident for a week and a half because you were on Christmas vacation, and you come back and there's a rat inside of your oven eating the barbecue chicken, and you left the barbecue sauce on top of the oven for it to rot. That's New York Jets roster right now. Anyways, that's a pretty weird description. Jacksonville's probably going to win the South now. But whatever, if they haven't already. I don't think anybody's clutched up a division. And that's the first time since 2016 that nobody by week 16 has clutched up a division yet. That's crazy. Houston Texans destroyed the Arizona Cardinals. I saw this coming. CJ Stroud looking really, really good. Woody Marks and Jawar Jordan coming out of nowhere. 101 yards rushing. Pretty dang good day for the Texans. Trey McBride is doing it all for the Arizona Cardinals. 12 receptions and 134 and 2 touchdowns. Somehow that gets overshadowed by Kyle Pitts' performance this week. But Trey McBride, fan-flippin-tastic. And that's basically all the Cardinals have right now. That's all they have to work with. But Houston, good win. Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers. Micah Parsons tears his ACL. Not a great day for the Green Bay Packers. They have tons of other injuries as well. Christian Watson, I believe, was also injured in this game. Josh Jacobs was he was having a pretty decent day. 73 yards on the ground, a touchdown. Bo Nix, fantastic game. I will say, when it comes to wins this season for the Denver Broncos, this is your most impressive win, and this is your best win all season. And that's good to be having in Week 15. Do I still think with the best record and a 7-0 record at home that you're the best team in the NFL? Heck no. This is not even close. You're not the best team in the NFL. You're the second best team in the NFL. And that will go to prove until you make the Super Bowl and beat the Los Angeles Rams. If you do that, then you can have all the accolades, all the marbles. I don't care. You're still a fraudulent 12-win team. In my opinion, you have one good win. Every team has one good win in a season. Everybody. Unless you're the 0-16 Cleveland Browns. then you don't have no wins. All right, next. Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints. New Orleans has put together themselves a couple of pretty good weeks, winning back-to-back games over the two top teams in their own division. They beat the Bucks last week, and they beat the Panthers this week, 20-17. Tyler Shook is looking kind of like the QB of the future there for the Saints. Spencer Rattler came in for some unknown reason. I have no idea why. Devin Neal, not bad. He had a rushing touchdown. He stepped up when it was needed, even though he only had 27 yards on the ground. So that's what's up. Taysom Hill is still on this roster. I don't know how. Taysom Hill is old. And I remember when that guy was playing the Army-Navy game. And I remember when that guy played against K-State it was like the American Bowl or something, and he was on Army, and that was a pain. I hated dealing with that guy. It was terrible. Rico Dowdle, really good day. Really good day out of Rico Dowdle. I say really good. I mean, he had 49 yards rushing, touchdown. It's the Carolina Panthers. They're 7-7. Their matchup this week is going to be crucial because whoever wins, Carolina Panthers, Bucks, wins the South, and I'll get into that in a minute. But Niners, Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are, again, I'm going to use this analogy, barbecue chicken. I love that analogy. 170-2 out of Cam Ward. Not a bad day. This roster really just seems to be missing a lot. It's just missing a lot. And we don't know how to fix the economy. But the Niners, just great day. A lot of these matchups this week, it was just like teams that are either needing to or are making the playoffs versus teams that are just terrible. And so, there's not really much to talk about or recap for this week other than Brock Purdy fumbled the football. And that's unacceptable. Seattle and Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers, not a bad day. I will say, not a bad day. I don't know how Phillip Rivers can have 120 yards passing and the team only have 118. If you just look at this right here, I don't know how these numbers correlate. But he did have a good day. I feel like for not playing for 5 years and coming in going 18-27, 120, and 1-1, not a bad day. 52.2 or 52.5 QBR. He did have negative 5 yards rushing. So, I think that's from sacks. I don't know how that works. Sam Darnold and that offense not looking too great against that Colts defense. So the Colts defense is pretty legit. They ended up sacking Darnold only once, and they only sacked Rivers once. So Seahawks ended up pulling out a near dub, a near loss, but it was a solid W for the Seattle Seahawks. Next, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Holy cow, they beat the Miami Dolphins. This game was all in all interesting. Tua Tagovailoa, he went 22 of 28, 253, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and they're benching him. He had a better performance than almost half the quarterbacks that started in the NFL. Heck, he almost had a better performance than Aaron Rodgers. They both had fairly good sets. I don't know. Looking at this, he goes 22 of 28, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I don't know how he has a 12.2 QBR. I don't know how that happened. At all. And then Aaron Rodgers has almost the same stat line, 23 of 27, so 1 more completion and 1 less pass, 224, 2 touchdowns. Was sacked 3 times, 58.8 QBR. Excuse me. The Steelers are going to make the playoffs. They're 8-6. They're probably going to win the AFC North unless they lose like 2 games and the Ravens win 2 games or something to that effect. But, yeah, it's kind of crazy. This week was interesting. I just kind of want to move on to next week, which is exactly what we're doing right this second. Okay, so you see on your screen, Thursday Night Football. We got Seattle Seahawks, Los Angeles Rams. This is basically for their division. I really don't know. I don't know who to pick. I believe the Seahawks won last time, or the Rams did. Somebody won. Seattle is an outdoor stadium. So this is what I'm going to base this off of. Seattle, did their offense work this week? No. That offense needs to get way better. in Seattle for them to win this game. People are picking the Rams a lot. I'm going to go with my gut because my gut says that the Rams are worse playing ball in the cold outside. Give me Seattle Seahawks. I don't know why I didn't say my pick there. Okay, next we're going to go Eagles, Commanders. If the Eagles want a shot at making the playoffs, they're going to win this game. If not, they're going to let Marcus Mariota torch them. Torch them. Give me the Eagles. Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. Winner of this wins the North. Pretty simple. Chicago lost to the Packers last week, but they don't have Micah Parsons. I don't know if they're going to have Christian Watson. Give me the Chicago Bears. The Packers are pretty banged up, and if Jordan Love can go into Chicago and still own the Bears, then so be it. But I think the Bears are going to win. Oh, and the fact that this game's at noon. Oh, that's actually Saturday. Huh. I didn't even know that until now. I thought this was a noon game. I was about to ramble on about how this game should be, prime time on its own. And yeah, it's on Saturday. So look at that on the 20th. That's when my Christmas party is going to be. Okay. Bills, Cleveland Browns. Give me the Bills. Shedeur Sanders is probably going to go like 210 for 2 touchdowns or less. Chargers, Cowboys. This one's crucial because get this, okay? The Broncos and the Eagles are the only 2 teams in the NFL right now who can clutch up their divisions. And it literally hinges on this game right here. So let's say both the Eagles and the Broncos win this week, which I have them both winning. The winner of this game will determine who wins their division. If the Cowboys win, the Broncos will win the AFC West for the first time in forever. If the Chargers win, the Eagles will win the NFC East in back-to-back seasons. It'll be the first time that there's been a back-to-back division champion in the NFC East in like a long time. So this game is really, really big. They're picking the Cowboys. A lot of people are picking the Cowboys. No, they're actually picking the Chargers. I'm going to pick the Cowboys because I think that Dak Prescott has a good game against that Chargers secondary. That Chargers secondary will be getting flagged a lot because they should have been last week and the refs were dog crap. Give me the Cowboys over the Chargers. Next, you got Chiefs, Titans. I have a feeling that now that we're eliminated from the playoffs, we're just going to go dummy haymaker on this Tennessee Titans defense because it sucks. And we're just going to have Gardner Minshew in. We're going to have more snaps under center. We're going to run the ball like we're supposed to. Our offense is actually going to look pretty decent because we're not going to have Rashee Rice. We're not going to have Tyquan Thornton probably because they're both in concussion protocol. And then Travis Kelce is going to have like the game of his life. He's going to have like 200 yards receiving. And we're just going to win like 31-10 or something stupid. And it's going to be like, where has that been all season? Titans suck. And if the Titans beat us, higher draft pick. Thank you. New York Jets, New Orleans Saints. And I apologize for my voice this week. I've been dealing with some stuff and, yelling at basketball games while just getting over being sick doesn't necessarily help with your voice, does it? Saints, Jets, I really don't care who wins this game. I don't care. I don't know why should I care. But the Saints have been on a 2-game win streak. Give me the Saints over the Jets. Tyler Shook has also looked pretty good. Minnesota Vikings, New York Giants. Give me the Minnesota Vikings. I think they go to 7-8. I think the Vikings might actually end the year with a winning record and miss the playoffs, which is just hilarious, dude. That's freaking hilarious. But give me the Minnesota Vikings over the New York Giants because the Giants have nobody and the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy. Next, you got Tampa Bay, South Carolina Panthers. I didn't mean to say South Carolina. Just the Carolina Panthers. I was thinking of the division, like the NFC South, and I said South Carolina Panthers. That's kind of funny. Clip that. Buccaneers, Panthers. Whoever wins this game is going to win the South. So it really just comes down to the fact that the Buccaneers have been cooling off like crazy, and they lost 2 games they shouldn't have against division opponents the last 2 weeks. So Give me the Carolina Panthers. They've actually been playing competent, even though they just lost to the Saints. But yeah, Carolina at home against the team who's been cooling off. I know the Panthers have been inconsistent, but the Bucks have cooled off significantly. They're not the team they were 8 weeks ago. So, give me the Carolina Panthers to win the South. Because, I don't know if it's technically not locked up yet, but basically whoever wins this game is going to win the South. Because the only two teams that can lock up wins this week are Eagles and Broncos. And somebody's going to win that division this week. Unless they both lose for some stupid reason. Bengals, Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. I just want to see what Quinn Ewers can do, especially now that Tua Tagovailoa is benched. Whoa. He's probably going to... I mean, if he were to get cut during the season, the Dolphins would have a $99 million... Let me add emphasis to that real quick. A $99 million... Yes, 99 mil cap hit. They'd have to eat that dead cap money, meaning all that money, it's dead space. Like, it's just there, and you can't use those $99 million. If he's cut after June 1st, it's like a $64-65 million cut. But give me the Miami Dolphins over the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, if you're the Bengals at this point, you might as well just try to get a draft pick because you're not making the playoffs. Jacksonville, Denver Broncos. I have the Broncos winning. I do think that the Jags have a chance at the Broncos. They had a huge boost this last week with their defense playing significantly better and their offense playing a lot better. And so the Denver Broncos just came off that impressive win. I got to give them this win here. They're at home. They're undefeated at home this season, and the Denver Donkeys are probably going to pull off a win. Falcons, Cardinals, another toilet bowl. Yay! Give me the Falcons, because if they can do that with Bijan and do that with Kyle Pitts again, they're going to win, regardless of what the Arizona Cardinals can muster. Steelers, Lions, the mid bowl. I'm going to pick the Lions because I picked them to be in the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I'm still not over my preseason predictions, which I'm going to have that video coming out probably during the dead week, right before the Super Bowl. So that way I know who the Super Bowl matchup is. Yeah, that's going to be a reaction video, so stay tuned for that. But Steelers, they don't really need this win. Can they win? Sure. But the Lions, I mean, they're probably going to get it done, especially because it's at home and it's a 325 game. They're historically good in 325. And I'll say it again. If Jahmyr Gibbs gets a touchdown, you're going to win the game. You're going to win the game if Jahmyr Gibbs gets a touchdown, especially in the first half. It's more emphasized in the first half. When he gets one in the first half, he's more than likely to have multiple throughout the game. Raiders, Texans. Give me the Texans, no questions asked. CJ Stroud's going to have a career game because this Raiders team is terrible. Sunday Night Football, you got the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. The Patriots, I mean, they're chasing that one seed at this point. And I guess they do need to win to try and secure the NFC East, or at least get closer to it. I'll pick the Patriots on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. I almost said the New Orleans Ravens. I don't know why, but I almost did. Monday Night Football. Phillip Rivers didn't have a bad game last week, and that 49ers defense isn't the greatest. I mean, they're not. So I'm going to pick the Colts. That's kind of like my Monday Night Football, who's going to win. And, the 49ers this season have historically been kind of in these mid-range scoring type deals. So, just give me, a total of 47 points scored on Monday Night Football. And that's going to be it for me today. Stay tuned for my bracket video for college football because it's coming out soon. So, if you haven't already, I'll make sure to see you later. Peace.